My name is Ellen Bonner. I'm a senior this year, and I'm also the drum major for Spruce Creek High School marching band.
My name is Zach Parker, and I play clarinet and saxophone.
My name is Kelly Glass, and I play the flute and alto saxophone.
My name is Adam Rich, and I play trumpet in the band.
My name is Andrew Kidd, and I'm one of the music directors at Spruce Creek High School.
I think the one thing I'm going to always remember is the Cliffs of Moher, because like of how just epic it is, really, just to look down and then you see all these, just how just straight off the earth it looks.
Well, when I saw the cliffs, I was like, holy cow. I knew they were going to be big and pretty, but I wasn't expecting anything like that.
Honestly, I couldn't feel anything. I was in such shock that it was like crazy. Like I couldn't even believe that what I was looking at was like honestly true.
It wasn't like anything I've ever seen before, growing up in Florida.
Everyone had the same expression. It was just like an intake of breath, because we don't get those kind of views where we're from in Florida.
I started getting frustrated with my camera, actually. I would take a photo and I'd be like, that's not what I'm looking at. No, no way. A picture can say 1,000 words, but Ireland could say 1,000,000.
Oh my God.
The views are beautiful tomorrow, yeah. Sleigh Head and all that area is just stunning. Here's a pretty good example of an ice age valley. This is where the ice, 1 mile deep, grinding its way down.
Here's your hotel coming up on your left.
I think my favorite hotel so far was in Dingle, because we had this amazing view out the windows of like the lounge. I think the coolest thing about all the hotels we've been staying at so far is that they're very distinctly Irish. It's just interesting that we get to stay somewhere that's influenced by the Irish culture, even when we're just eating and sleeping.
Over these last 15 years, David has established rapport with all these hoteliers and restaurant owners, as opposed to some of these large companies that, you know, hire everything out.
It was just our group in the hotel, so that we didn't have to worry about disturbing other people as much, which was convenient because we're high schoolers and we tend to get loud more than we should.
The shopping street is like right down, so you just leave the hotel and then you're right there. And so it's like awesome how close it is to everything.
Even though Port Orange is a small town, it doesn't feel like a small town. Over here you actually get a small town experience. And I actually ran into about 10 little girls when we were in Dingle. I think they had just gotten out of school and they were so hyperactive.
I met a 6-year-old girl who told me that she loved my accent.
She's kind of a
You should know I'm Rachel and I will be famous when I grow up.
And I just thought it was hysterical because I was in love with hers too.
And they were gonna be like, are you Americans? Oh my gosh, they're Americans in Dingle.
We have to find them! There's 212 Americans in Dingle!
And they actually were going on an American hunt, because we told them there were about 200 Americans in Dingle, and they're like, we must find them all! And they started running around, and it was really funny.
Dingle girls are very hyperactive.
I've noticed.
There really isn't a dull moment here. Even when we do have some downtime, there's always something that we're doing.
We're just making memories, you know? I mean, you get to go back to school and say, hey, we played Red Rover in Ireland, you know? It's like, nobody else is gonna say that in your classes, you know?
People always think about, oh, maybe like Model UN, like the United Nations or like Spanish Club will go somewhere cool. But in my school, the band is the program that travels. You get to see the culture with 200 of your best friends. That's how I always put it. It's like traveling with 200 of your best friends.
This is also new to us, that we're just sharing our experiences with each other.
We were in Dingle and we had this family come play for us.
With your Shea family, I'm Michelle, this is Patrick, my husband.
They not only played traditional music, but they also did traditional Irish dancing.
Very welcome to bop around if you like.
I got volunteered to go up and I had a dance with, his name was Tomas, he preferred to be called Tom though. You had to dance in and then dance out and then swing your partner. And there's a specific grip that you're supposed to do, but he never really taught it to me. You're just supposed to like go for it. And I didn't do it right. And instead I just like wrapped my arms around his waist and we just kind of span around for a little while. I got to dance with someone from Ireland, so I think it's really cool.
You can't just sit down and listen to Irish music. No, you have to get up and move.
We happen to have a student in our band program, Logan, who also dances, and they got to go up and do a duet dance number, which they were kind of challenging each other and going back and forth with them. Logan was beside himself happy. It was so much fun.
That was like nothing else. That was crazy.
It was just so cool to really be thrown into the culture in that way, more than just watching it. You had to participate.
That was something I'm gonna remember for a long time. It's really cool. Galway was definitely my favorite. Just because it had the beach right there, that was neat. A lot of rivers running through it.
I didn't know how like strong it was, so I kicked it twice. So I kicked it light the first time, like, oh okay, so I kicked it for real the second time.
Had a lot of like little shops, like mom and pop shops that you could go into and just like look around, and a lot of stuff that you couldn't buy in other cities. That was so much fun. Good times. Memories of that.
It's one thing to learn about a culture, and it's another to experience it. Being in IB music, like I learned so much about like each culture and each individual instrument. It was just so crazy, and like seeing like how the fingers were placed on the flute itself, it was just so different. I could blow out the tradition, like literally.
There's times where we split up into our chaperone groups and we go out and experience the folk music in the pubs, and that was fabulous. Some of our kids got to play with some of the folk musicians. So we had open mic at one of the small pubs and they got to play and perform.
They had a band perform, and then a couple of our guitarists went up and did a jam session. Everyone got into it, like the entire pub was quiet and just listened to her play and sing. That's a lot for a musician, to see other people like what they're doing and say, yeah, I believe in what you're doing, go for it. It's cool to see that it rings true for other people and not just our little band program in our little corner of America. Right now we're performing in the middle of Marion Square Garden with our jazz band.
We drew a really big crowd that I wasn't expecting. Back in the States, I see people at our jazz concerts that just sort of sit there and it's just like they're there and they're not really listening to the music or enjoying it. But I just think people enjoy it a lot more here, and that made me a lot more happier to play. It made it more fun to play since they were enjoying it as well as me.
It's actually really surprising watching all of like the younger kids like come out for the jazz performances and they're dancing around and you see all of the adults bobbing their heads. It's kind of like an international language, brings us all together.
Pretty much everybody in Europe likes music or anything like that. It's like what you're playing and you're doing it for fun.
I want to give a big, warm Irish welcome to Spruce Creek High School, all the way from Florida.
We found that there's only one international baccalaureate school in all of Ireland. It's St. Andrew's College in Dublin. And we gave our concert with our wind ensemble and our orchestra.
After that, we got together and like we started mingling with everybody.
We did some really cool international meet and greets and some activities.
When we walked up, they started speaking in Spanish. They thought we were from Spain or something.
I met a couple of first-year kids, that's what they call them here, like the freshmen, and they were excited that we were actually from America.
I kind of wanted to learn more about my own culture and my lifestyle and what I do on a day-to-day basis. It's really interesting to see that we have like the same fears of math and how much we don't like chemistry.
Meeting people from other places, especially people my own age, it makes me feel like I'm really connected to the world.
Right now, the big thing on YouTube is the Harlem Shake. So we did the Harlem Shake together as one, which really united all these kids.
And I didn't even think they would know what that is, but they're like, Harlem Shake, let's do it! And they were
do the Harlem Shake.
It was really cool that you saw all these kids doing the same thing from YouTube. It was amazing.
They're growing up in the same world we are, even though we're miles and miles apart.
That was a really cool thing that we did that a large company would not even tolerate.
Round of applause again to Spruce Creek High.
Parades in America have nothing on this parade. It was just so much color and so much insanity.
But when we turned that corner and saw that street with so many people in it, I don't think I've ever seen so many people packed for one event.
I've performed with our bands in the past in the Mardi Gras in New Orleans and Peach Bowl, but this was amazing because first thing, the Irish love the American bands. Second thing is that it's so packed. People are 6 and 7 and 8 deep on the parade route for the entire time.
Mr. Kidd called us up and he said, look around the corner. So we got to see this mass of people, and it was just flooring that there were that many people standing on the side of the road and there were people hanging out of buildings.
I was stunned, I really was. I actually messed up my first couple notes. I wasn't focused. I seriously had to tell myself to get in the zone and you need to play.
I was a drum major, and I would always make sure I made eye contact with people and wave. And whenever I got somebody to like smile back and like wave, or like blow a kiss or like rock on or a thumbs up. That was really fun for me. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Other than just the local people get to hear us, your mom and your dad and your neighbors, I mean, they're gonna like you anyway, but I mean, you get to see how good you really are.
I felt incredibly proud to see 200 kids marching down the street in front of 500,000 people. Today I just found out about 4 minutes ago that Spruce Creek High School won the Best Band in the Parade Award, and there were 17 bands from all over the world. So I think that's going to be a great piece of news in a few minutes when our other director comes in from the award ceremony.
This is the Spruce Creek High School band. They marched today in the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Dublin, and just a few minutes ago, the Lord Mayor of Dublin awarded this group the highest award that we could possibly get, the best overall band in the world.
I've never really been a part of something like that this big before. It's like the first thing, and I don't think I probably will get anything else. But this is definitely gonna be up there for a long time. It's really special.
This is honestly such a life-changing experience that nothing can amount to what I've seen here.
There are like a lot of flashbulb kind of memories I have of like certain competitions or certain parades, but I think this is definitely going to be one of the ones I always remember because it's so different, it's so unique.
You need to go to Ireland because it's going to change your life. It's what I call LC, a life changer.
They're impacted on a trip like this with the David McGuffin tour because they see that music is an international force. As a teacher, to see the kids experience through the eyes of those kids all the new things about international travel, I think that's the high. That's what keeps me inspired. I think that the David McGuffin travel, his experience with large groups, music and non-musically oriented high school students, his experience as a teacher, as a band director and choral director, he knows the ins and outs of that specialty kid, that specialty student. It's a no-brainer. You know, you should go with McGuffin.